Hi everyone! So we are live now. Before we get into talking about, the episode and what just happened, I'd like to introduce Evan. If you guys don't know, he plays Ennis, the Vulture on Fear the Walking Dead. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like Ennis anymore. Like, I was trying to like him. I was trying my best, to understand the Vultures, but it's over for me. But if you guys don't know, you've also done, like, Vampire Diaries, Hawaii Five-0, and a bunch of other shows. So, if it's cool, we're going to talk about, like, acting stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about everything.
Cool.
Let's get into the real nitty-gritty.
That just reminded me of, like, HQ. It's something he says. I don't know why that popped up in my mind.
Yeah, HQ.
Oh my god, you play.
My HQties.
Yes, exactly. So, first of all, congratulations, like, on the show and getting to do that. I don't know, to me, it's, like, big for anyone doing, like, The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. Were you, like, a fan of the show before you started?
Yeah, so, honestly, like, I hadn't watched a whole lot of it, honestly. I mean, I was aware of it. It was a juggernaut, a huge show. Both shows were huge. I'd caught a lot more of Fear the Walking Dead just because my wife watches it, and then so I was like catching some of it while she was watching it, and once I found out that I got the role, then I went back and watched all of Fear the Walking Dead to make sure that I knew exactly, like, tonally what was going on, and then I've gone back since and watched some of Walking Dead too. I think they're both excellent shows. There's just so much TV out there, It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
that's
what I was going to ask, especially, like, coming into a show like that is huge, and this character, it's not just any villain. He's coming in and literally he destroyed, I'd say, like, at least 2 good lives, 2 of the most major characters of the show.
I know, he really had some pivotal consequences in the whole story. I was shocked at, like, the repercussions that the shockwaves that Ennis sent throughout the show was crazy.
Yeah, because you were, like, I'm going to say, not totally responsible for the death of Nick, but, I mean, kinda. I feel like Charlie kinda killed Nick out of... Really went down.
Yeah, are we live still? Like,
yeah.
Okay, speaking of HQ, I see this stuff happen to HQ.
Yeah.
It's, technical difficulties. It's live internet. You never know what's going to happen.
It's wild, especially, like, we're, like, 2018. You think we're supposed to be so technologically advanced, but yet, like, we still have potato internet wherever we go.
Yeah. Did you say potato internet?
Yeah, potato internet.
I love that term. I'm going to start saying it.
It's the best thing. It's basically what it is. It's like we connected the wires into the potato, and that's what we're trying to use right now.
Yes. Like 2 cans and a string attached.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is the apocalypse, guys. We can't even Skype call.
Yeah. Skype freezes sometimes in the apocalypse. What were we talking about?
I think, like, you just, like, coming on, like, did you know that you were going to be responsible for the death of, like, Madison when you came on?
No, I had no idea. And honestly, like, they didn't give me full episodes at all. So when I first found out I got the part, I didn't even know the character's name. We used dummy sides for the audition, and then I was filming another show, and so they sent me just the scene, the Mel. They sent the Mel and Madison scene when the Vultures first arrive.
Yeah.
When Mel is giving his whole spiel about, like, kind of like the Vulture's credo.
Yeah.
They sent that, and then they sent the scene with me on the bike, and so that's all. So they sent that to me. And then I show up, and basically I had to do a lot of digging to figure out what was happening, because they're very tight-lipped, They don't want information getting out. So I didn't know what was happening beyond the actual pages that I was in. So I never even got full scripts.
Dang. Even, like, on the day of, is it just, like, getting there and it's like, okay, we're doing this? Good luck with your lines?
Well, kind of.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly...
That's Murphy's Law, Maybe it's Murphy's Law, I don't know. So anyway, what I was going to say is that every week and a half there's a new episode that they're filming. And so usually, like, when the hair and makeup trailer, you know, by the way, the hair and makeup people are amazing on that show. They're so wonderful, and like I became really close with them. Anyway, so they got full episodes, so they would be like, "Oh, you're doing some crazy stuff in this episode," and so I would kind of get like little gossip bits from them. So that's kind of how I found out is from the hair and makeup people, specifically Mandy Benton, who did. She was the one who put this awesome scar on me that they never really showed that much on the show, which was the camera was always on this side. It was funny because Ennis had this really cool scar on his face.
Damn.
You never see it.
It's so detailed too, the stuff on that show. Everything is always like down to the core in like little details. It's always amazing.
No, I mean so much care goes into that show, top to bottom. It's really a well-oiled machine, and I was very impressed just every time I was on set, just how well it was going. You know, every department. Yeah.
How is that acting-wise then? Because that's such like a thing to your guys' acting abilities to just like go on there and have this character, even though you really don't know what this character is about, but yet like form these like really big characters. Because there was even a moment, I think it was when you guys were leaving the camp, I was like, oh, he doesn't look, something's not right with him, like they're gonna come back, Mel's definitely just not leaving. And I was like, that look you gave, and I was like, there's something going on here.
Well, you know, they actually cut a scene. So what happened was when Mel you know, and he whistles and he's like, pack it up, everyone leave, you know. What we filmed was I speak up and I'm like, no, and I say, what are you doing? And then he cuts me off and he's like, I said let's go. And so there was an exchange between Mel and Ennis there that they cut that showed even more of that.
Oh, okay.
And there was a look where I looked at the stadium, and you know, they filmed me looking at the stadium, kind of foreshadowing what was going to happen. But maybe they I don't know why they cut it for time, or maybe just to not give it away as much. But yeah, there was even more there before. But yeah, Ennis was absolutely not pleased with the fact that Mel gave up so easily.
Yeah, do you think that's like the first time that the Vultures like have given up? Because why would he be like so mad about Madison's group? There's got to be something that like ticked him off about this group especially. Well, besides plot points that she was gonna die, there's got to be something in the character that was like, okay, I'm not okay with this. So I'm thinking, is that like the first time they probably haven't succeeded at making people give up, basically?
Absolutely, this is the first time that their way of life was questioned. You know, up until this point, everything that Mel and Ennis predicted would, you know, with group settlements falling, was proved to be true. And so the fact that this stadium was flourishing despite the presence of the Vultures meant that Ennis particularly had to question like his entire way of life. You know, and sometimes like some people when they're filled with such doubt and their way of life is questioned, it makes him very insecure and very, you know, and so he started to question all of his decisions in his life, and so he was like, to make himself feel better about the choices that he's made, he's like, I'm going to make this place fall to prove that the way that I feel, the way that I've lived my life is right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So so basically it was he did it out of fear, I believe. Ennis did it out of fear.
Fear the walking Ennis.
That his way of life wasn't the right way anymore. He was questioning it, you know what I mean, for the first time.
Yeah, man, it's just like, I wanted to feel bad for Ennis, because at first when it killed him, I was like, okay, Nick's going a little bit harsh, until you see the end, and then you understand, because like Madison was my favorite character.
Yeah, she's such a wonderful character.
It was like my mom. I was like, she died. And like now I get it, and then I'm like, okay, Nick, I understand. What was that scene like? Like, I don't know, doing a death scene. It always just seems fun. I know that sounds weird, but it sounds like fun to do a death scene.
I've actually had to die several times, like on different shows, and it's always, you know, you have to make it epic. You know, if you're gonna die, like, make it epic. And so when they told me that I was gonna die by impalement on deer antlers, I was really excited because it's such a unique way to die. Yeah. So we shot that fight scene in 2 different days. in on a soundstage. So it's cool because, like, you know, there's the exterior stuff where Morgan is trying to prevent Nick from going in there with his hammer, and then you see me go into that shed. What was cool is they rebuilt that entire shed on a soundstage. So it was they rebuilt it perfectly on the inside, and so we shot that over 2 days. A lot of choreography. It was, you know, a lot of because we're shooting in such a small area in that shed. You know, a lot of the camera kept having to move around, so we would do little bits. Okay. So we would do like him attacking me on the table, and then, you know, me smashing him in the head with the jar of pimentos, and then so that would be like one section. Then we would move everything around, and then we would shoot against the wall over here. The stunt guys were great, and so it was really well choreographed. And then when it came to me being impaled, it was actually an ab workout, because it was like I was having to lean back over a pad as it slowly deflated as I'm getting, you know, like the deflation of the pad was me getting lower onto the antlers, and so I'm having to lean back for a long period of time, you know, with your abs are the only thing keeping you upright because you don't have anything supporting your head. So my abs were like super tired by the end of the day, and I was completely covered in blood, but it was a lot of fun.
Damn, I mean, at least you get to go to work and the gym at the same time, so
yeah, I mean, what's better than that? What is better than that?
Oh my gosh. Was it exciting, like, coming on to a show that's established and, like, meeting the cast? Like, how does that feel?
Oh my God. It was so exciting because it's like, it never gets old. Like, I TV and movies are my passion, you know? And so being able to step inside of a television show that you respect and have seen, I mean, it's like, it's magic, you know? It never gets old for me. And so, yeah, that first day, the first thing I ever shot was me on the bike. And so that was a big scene. The whole entire cast was there, sitting in a circle of chairs all night outside of the baseball stadium. So I literally, like, met everyone on the show at once, and we're all sitting in a circle, like, just talking. I'm getting to meet everybody. I'm having a conversation with Kim about working with David Fincher, you know, because she was in Gone Girl.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then just talking to Jenna Elfman, who, you know, I grew up watching on TV. It's like, you know, it's never normal, and it's always exciting, and especially coming onto a show like this, because everybody was there at the same time.
Oh my gosh, that's so
you
cool.
literally jumped into the show.
That's amazing.
It was so exciting.
Someone in the chat wants to know, like, what was it like hoarding all the walkers into the truck?
Yeah, that was it was funny because talking between takes to the walkers, you know, like, they were just like, oh man, I'm so tired, and I was like, yeah, me too, because I was kind of sick. Actually, I was really sick. I had like a really bad cold, and but then, you know, I was kind of excited to be there, so I was kind of forgetting about it. But we were all just super tired, and the walkers, you know, they've been there like all day and all night, and so, you know, just, you know, between takes, kind of chatting with them and admiring their makeup, and, you know, and just asking how, you know, chatting up and being like, asking how long they've been in the makeup chair, and some of them had this really, really elaborate makeup, and, you know, just being, you know, just chatting with them. And then once they called action, and I'm on the bicycle, and they're chasing me, then it became scary, because, like, the way that they had lit it, and there was like fog on, you know, along the ground, and they were all backlit, so I'm seeing these shadows, you know, and like these outlines of these, you know, kind of terrifying looking walkers. And so there was a switch turn from like, oh, you know, we're just actors here working, to like, oh crap, this is actually pretty frightening. So, and it took a while to get the timing down, as far as, because I'm on a bike, and so my instinct was like, I'm gonna pedal as fast as I can to get the hell away from these walkers. But I had to bike at a certain pace so that they could, because they move slowly, and I want to herd them into these trucks, and so we had to create a path on my bicycle, you know, looping around them, so that you know, because if you slow down on a bike, you know, you kind of lose momentum and you can't keep riding. Yeah. So we had to create a path so the timing would match up, so where they wouldn't get too far away from me as we moved into the truck. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. It's a choreographed walkers.
It was a choreographed dance. And a bicycle and a bunch of walkers, like, following me. So, very unique evening.
Such a funny, like, story to say. Oh, like, how was your day on set? Just had to hoard some walkers on a bike. It's all good. Stuck in a truck with them. It's whatevs.
It was crazy because then I couldn't talk about it to anybody. So then I had to go back to this other show that I was working on, Happen Leonard, on Sundance, which is in Atlanta. And so I went back to work on Monday to finish up that show. And they were like, how was it? And I was like, I wanted to tell them all these exciting things. And I was like, it was good. I just had to be tight-lipped, My agent was like, they don't even want you telling your grandma.
Yeah,
So
you hear that on the show, like that, like you can't even tell yourself. Like if you tell yourself in your mind what happened again, they're like all over you.
You can't even tell yourself. You can't even remember it. Don't even remember it, or you're gonna get in trouble. Yeah.
Speaking of your sick thing, like being an actor is like probably the weirdest thing, because like you can't just call off sick. That's not a thing. You go in like whether you're throwing up or what's going on, and they just put makeup on you and you pretend it's all good for an hour.
That's really it, because there's so much writing on the schedule, the shooting schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So many different pieces have to be in place. All the other actors who need to be in that scene, all their scheduling. And so, yeah, if you're sick, you just kind of suck it up and go. And that's in every department. That's not just the actors. That's the director. That's the grips. That's
everyone.
Every department. It's like, because it's not just about you, and everyone's relying on each other. So there are no sick days, unless you're like the number one on the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're the number one on the show and you're really sick, you might be able to get away with it by calling a sick day. But Ennis could not pull a sick day.
Yeah. That's what I love about
movies. On the
stuff.
show. Guys, I'm calling off the shoot. I'm sick. No.
Yeah.
I would not dare to do that.
I'd be too scared. I'd get to their set 3 hours early.
Yeah. No, and plus it's like, you're excited to be there too, so you kind of run on adrenaline too. So like once we wrapped at 5:30 in the morning, I got back to my hotel room, and then all of a sudden it hit me more, you know what I mean? But in the moment, you're just excited, especially to be on such a cool show and doing that elaborate set piece with walkers and El Caminos and you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what I love about TV in general, but especially The Walking Dead, is just the amazing effort of everything all involved, the directing, definitely the makeup like you said, and just the set pieces, everything just working together at once, blending perfectly is so amazing.
The synergy is incredible. And when I got to be a walker in episode 304, I believe, when Alicia kills me, it was just this very short clip, but I was in the makeup chair for 2 hours.
Damn.
And I got to work with Greg Nicotero, which was awesome. And he's a legend.
Yeah.
And he's a legend to me. I've been an admirer of his forever.
Same.
He worked on Pulp Fiction, which is my favorite movie of all time.
He did From Dusk Till Dawn too.
Yes, From Dusk Till Dawn. He works with Robert Rodriguez, who's a hero of mine. So anyway, getting to work with him and him telling me, how to walk like a walker, and him giving me advice was I was just having to pinch myself.
So cool.
I can't believe I'm getting paid to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. It was amazing. I was grateful every time I stepped on set. I was like, this is amazing. It's a great job.
Actually, I would really love a Vulture's miniseries. Not because I like the Vulture, I just like their story and what they're about, because it's so interesting. And they were just an interesting take on the apocalypse and the characters themselves. A miniseries, of course, before, how they started. Because you and Mel, the backstory, I don't know if Mel was, lying or if it was true that you guys watched your parents die or that you killed your parents. I forget exactly if you guys watched it or killed them. I think you guys killed them.
Well, what happened was we lived on a farm with our family. And, because he talks about it to Madison where... I think when he was grilling out and she was talking to him. Is that what you're referring to? Where they were
he's because they didn't want to leave and we did, and then so we just let them die basically.
Well, what happened was we tried to stay and make it work, which is what Madison was doing with her people, at the Diamond. So we were trying to do that, and because of because of our attempt to stay despite the fires coming to the farms, everyone we knew and loved died except for us. And so that kind of spurred us to live the way we do, which is to never let that happen again, you know?
Yeah.
So we made a mistake by staying, and so it cost us dearly, and so that's why we rejected that whole way of life, and so that's why Ennis reacted so strongly when he saw the settlement actually survive and flourish.
Okay, yeah.
Because it really struck close to him. He was like, that's not fair. How come these people get to live, and everybody that I knew and loved died, you know? And so that's why he reacted the way he did. He's like, I'm gonna burn this place down. I'm gonna destroy this place, because that's what happens. You know, it's coming from a place of deep loss and, you know, resentment. But yeah, I agree. I think that a Vulture show would be amazing, and I really wish that they could have showed more of the relationship between Mel and Ennis.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted more of that, because getting to hang out with Kevin off set, he's such a cool guy, and, you know, and I really respect him a lot, and I was hoping there would be more scenes with him, you know, but that's just the way it is. You know, it's not Fear the Walking Vultures. It's, you know, it's Fear I think a spinoff would be amazing. We'll see. We'll start lobbying for it.
Yeah, we gotta get on Twitter, guys. Gotta start a hashtag Vulture miniseries. We can do it.
You want it? We'll get you to be a vulture. Like, let's do it.
I'll be like Charlie's lost friend or something. It's okay.
Yeah, you'll be Charlie's sister or something.
Yeah. Like, I have a question about her. I'm not sure if you can answer this. I think it's just my own timeline confusion. So, you know, Charlie's the one that killed Nick. So I was thinking, is Charlie with you when that happened? Like, was she around in the car? Because when they leave from, when all the walkers are coming in, Charlie is with Mel. So that's what I was confused. Like, oh, did Mel and Ennis maybe meet up again? Like, because everything fell apart? Did they, like, forgive each other? Because, you know, brothers fight. Like, that type of thing.
Yeah, they met up again after Mel left with Charlie from the stadium in the before timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, they met back up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they met back up with each other, and a lot of time passed, and so, you know, we kept on scavenging, and then which led us to the scene where I die and she kills Nick. I don't think Mel was around. I think she and I were on like a little scavenging expedition on our own.
Yeah.
You know, and she was wearing my jacket. You know, did you catch that?
I did. Yeah. That's why I was like, they have to connect somehow, because I guess it wasn't really explained too well, probably for, like, you know, time reasons, not showing a scene like that.
Yeah.
But I think, like, I was like, wait a second, how is she, like, back with Ennis, you know, when she was with Mel?
Yeah, exactly. We all met up, and Mel and I made up. We brothers fight, like you said. It's funny because there were so many blanks to fill in. So, you know, as an actor, when you're not given a whole lot of backstory, you take what you can get. Like, I had several different conference calls with Ian and Andrew, the showrunners, where, like, they would give me bits of, like, the history.
Okay.
Which is when they told me about, like, the fires that destroyed our farm and everything, and, you know, but a lot of it, like, I had to take what I was given and fill in the blanks myself, you know, because that's what you do. You know, you have to make your own history rich, whether it's explicitly explained to you in the script or by the showrunners or, you know, by other actors or not. You have to have a rich history because you're a human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
As humans, we have memories and pasts, and so if you don't have it, then your character's not gonna come through as vividly on the screen.
I think you guys did a really good job of that too, because, like I said, the Vultures were so defined. They were such a great, like, villain, because, you know, they were so cultured and had, like, such a good background. That was like, they weren't really villains, but they were villains to us because they killed our favorites.
You could do a whole show or a movie, like, or an episode from the Vulture's perspective, and you would maybe see why they were the way they were, and, like, that's the sign of any great villain. It's like, is knowing where they're coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like we all have different points of view. You might not agree with it, but like that's their point of view.
Yeah, like
you know?
to them, they weren't the bad guys. They never were the bad guys. They weren't the bad guys up until really you brought the walkers to kill them, because they didn't harm anyone. They were just sitting in the parking lot. They were leaving. Actually, it wasn't up to that point that I would consider them like actually villains.
Yeah, I feel like Mel isn't really a villain. Ennis definitely is a villain. Because what he did was a whole thing. He was committing murder.
Just gonna my girl. It's my Madison.
Oh,
she's my queen. I was upset. That's why I was like low key. I'm kind of mad right now, but
low key angry. Yeah, you told me you were low key angry at Ennis, and I don't blame you. You know that he made the wrong decision. I mean, in his eyes, he made the right decision. But he's definitely a villain. But it's like important for people to know why he made the decision he made.
Yeah. And I mean, it's understandable. It is. But I just don't want to understand it as a fan.
No. Yeah, no. I mean, if I weren't Ennis, then I would be mad at Ennis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I get it.
So your wife's a fan of the show. Like, how does she feel about you getting like to be on it, and how does she feel about like what you did to like the characters?
She's sitting right here. She was really excited. She was really excited that I got to be on the show. But she's also finished. She also just finished up her semester at NYU, so I think she's still catching up right now. Honestly, I don't know if she's
Oh gosh, no, we just spoiled so much.
Don't worry, I already spoiled it.
Okay.
She hasn't seen all the episodes yet, but she was super excited and proud. Yeah.
That's really good. That's cool. Like when your family or your support system like supports you, like in what you're doing.
And plus, she was a good reference for me. Like, if I had any questions about like what had happened in the show, I could ask her. Like, and she would, as a fan of the show, she knew the world, and so she really helped me.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Like, totally what had happened. Yeah, it's really cool.
She seems cool. I like her. She likes The Walking Dead.
Cool. Yeah, she just did this. She just went like this.
Yes, TWD fam.
yeah, exactly. You're the Walking Dead family.
Let's see. I'm trying to like get some questions from the chat too, but they're basically just all saying he's amazing. Oh my gosh! Like, does he have a YouTube channel? And you do have a YouTube channel, like where you like post mostly singing stuff, right? Like, and your music.
Well, first of all, I appreciate everyone, all the nice stuff, and the encouraging things people have said has really meant a lot to me. Because I know this is an established show, and all these people, love this show and love these characters, and so to be able to step into this world and to be welcomed it means a lot to me. As far as like my YouTube channel, I mainly post music stuff because I am a musician, and that's kind of what I did. That's what I did before acting. Is I was a songwriter. I played in some bands, I play guitar and stuff, and I'm still doing that. I'm actually gearing up to release some new music soon. So,
nice.
I'm really excited about it. It's just I'm working on a new EP right now, and so I'm hoping to release that by the fall.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I went on your YouTube and I listened to some of the stuff like before the interview, so I knew a little bit more about what you did besides just like The Walking Dead, and your stuff's really good actually.
Thank you very much.
I put your like links in here too for everyone to follow, so you guys should go follow him. Like I put all your like YouTube stuff for them to like just click on it and go to it.
Oh, see, that means a lot. Appreciate that.
Guys, chat. Like I'm asking like all the questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to like put it in the chat. But now I'm just gonna move on to more acting stuff. First, like, how did you get into acting? Like from music, I guess.
So I did some plays in high school, and then I went to the University of Texas at Austin to play music. That was kind of like my dream in life was to be, playing at Coachella. Actually, Coachella wasn't around then, but playing guitar, in big stadiums and just doing that thing. Being in a band and being in a huge touring band was like my dream. And then when I graduated from college, I took an acting class in a lark, and I fell in love with acting. And then I hated my major that I graduated, my degree that I graduated with. Mm-hmm. Nothing really was speaking to me as like a career path. So I always was playing guitar, but I was like, I really want to try acting because this is really bringing me joy, and life's too short not to do stuff that brings you joy, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I jumped in. I got representation. I got a manager and agent in Austin, and then I, booked a couple Lifetime movies and booked like a small thing on Prison Break, and then I just moved out to LA because I tested for Glee back in the day, which was a very terrifying experience.
Yeah.
So I was so green and nervous at the time, but then I moved to LA and then got an agent there, and then I've just been kind of been grinding it out ever since.
Man, that's so cool. Like, it's so cool, like, to hear people's stories, because everyone has a different background of, like, how they got to where they're at. Yeah,
for sure.
For you,
there's not one right way to become an actor, or, you know what
exactly.
I mean? It's like, you find your own way. You have to kind of get in where you fit in, as they say.
Yeah. That's what's so exciting but scary about everything at the same time, because it's like you can do all this stuff, but it still may not work for you, even though it, like, worked for someone else that way.
Yeah, but it's like, if you love it, and you're an actor, so you get this. Like, if you love doing this, you're gonna. The only way that you're not gonna succeed at acting is if you stop, or is if you. I don't want to say give up or quit, because if something else makes you happy, then go do that. But if acting, like, really makes you happy, and if it still makes you happy when you're just, like, auditioning, not getting the role, but you're just loving to audition, do self-tape auditions and going to class and, like, watching movies and studying it, and it's, like, really what you love, then you're gonna find a way to succeed at it, because you're not gonna stop doing it and do something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, it's just like, it's the passion. Yeah.
It's about the passion. It might take a while, might take 20 years, but you're going to succeed, because if you, it's the people that stop are the only ones that don't succeed. If you keep on doing it, you will find a way to succeed at it.
That's what I tell people all the time, because, like, even though, you may not be on, like, a big show or be someone, like, I'm doing, like, even short films make me the happiest, like, getting to see people, like, work together, because I feel that's when the most, when you're on a big set, it's fun, but everybody has their place. Like, when you do a smaller film or independent film, it's just, like, everyone gets to help out in a way, and you just, like, get to learn more that way, and I really enjoy that part. I don't know if you would like that as well, but.
No, I completely agree with you, Chelsea. It's like the process is what I love. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, just the collaborative. I've done so many short films that no one has ever seen, that I've had such an amazing experience on. That's really helped me grow as an actor.
Yeah, for sure.
And even for me, my career, like, I'm not famous. I'm somebody who's been on TV and been on shows and worked with lots of famous people. But for me, I have a journeyman's career. Where I'm playing the long game, and so I have yet to get that starring role on a television show yet. So I'm in the same position as you are. I'm just grinding it out and having faith and loving the process. You know what I mean? Yeah,
for sure. And, like, that's what we try to do here, like, as a Walking Dead community, like, family. It's just, like, we love everyone who's on the show as well, so we just, like, try to support them any way possible. Just, like, go out and see their shows, go see their plays, whatever they do.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, it's also, and, like, just being in LA, too, and, like, some of my favorite people are the actors that I've met who in acting class. I think actors are a special type of people.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We're empathetic, and I love people who have empathy.
Yeah.
I think everyone should be empathetic.
Right. We need more of that nowadays.
We do need more empathy. Everybody. Empathy everywhere.
A lot of people are asking, do you have a favorite Walking Dead, like, Fear the Walking Dead character?
Do I have a favorite Fear the Walking Dead character? I'd probably have to say Strand is my favorite character.
Yes, I love Strand. It's so good.
He's just so cool. Like, I was noticing in this last episode, or the episode before this last one, in 407, when they're having the shootout, in the now timeline.
Yeah.
Just how cool he looked. He just looked like a superhero. I'm like, he always just looks badass. And he's always got that kind of, like, devil may care, like, air of mystery about him. Mm-hmm. I want to know more. I could just watch a whole show just about him, about, like, everything he did before he met up with these people. He was a baller.
Yeah, he's like a con man type guy. Yeah. He has such a good, like, past, and every time you find out more about him, it's like, wait, what? Like, what were you doing before? Yeah,
like, the most interesting man in the world, Strand.
Right?
Yeah, he's my favorite. But I love all the characters are so well developed. But yeah, Strand is probably my favorite if I had to pick one.
That's a good one, to be honest. Him and Madison, those are probably like my top 2 of like Fear the Walking Dead.
For sure.
Just so interesting characters. Sorry, I have my notes about questions like people put in I asked for. Let me find one. Oh yeah, like what would be your biggest takeaway from like working on Fear the Walking Dead?
Biggest takeaway. Just the scale. I mean, I've done lots of TV, and I worked with Clint Eastwood one time, and like that was a really big movie, American Sniper. But I feel like the scope and the scale, and just how huge the production was on Fear the Walking Dead was the biggest set I'd ever been on, honestly. As far as like how many extras, how many people in the crew, how much money was being pumped into the show. Just that one, the last scene that I shot on the show was when we were coming up with the trucks of walkers, and I'm telling everyone to lift up the trucks and release them. Just how huge that set was. There was just like huge towers of lights and people with cameras. There was like so many cameras, and it was just, there was hundreds of people on that set. So yeah, that just basically, it was like my biggest takeaway was like how big a set can be and how well it can work even on such a large scale, right? Because you can have like a 4 or 5 person crew, a skeleton crew, and it can work seamlessly. But like a huge set working well, that is not easy.
For sure.
It's a delicate dance, and they do it so well. I mean, I was just like, AMC, you guys got it going on.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's gotta be like, I don't know, was it intimidating like walking into that type of set, or were you just like, it's chill, do my job? Like every actor's different. I don't know. Like, do you get nervous doing that type of stuff?
So yeah, like I don't get nervous anymore. But I don't get nervous, but I do. It's like being the new kid in school. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like I'm not nervous, but I'm not like by the end of my time there, it was like I'd been at that school for a year or two, you know, and you know people, and you can walk down the hallway and like be like, hey, what's up? But you know, like coming into that show was like the first day of school at a new school, and so I kind of like, you know, kept my head down a little bit, didn't want to step on anyone's toes. You know, I'm stepping into a place where there's a bunch of series regulars who it's their show. You know, I'm just coming into it, so I'm respectful, and I'm kind of watching my ass a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's not nervous as much as just it's like I'm not like I have to dial it back a little bit until we're rolling, and then I do my job. You know, it's a job. Yeah. You're doing your job, but you have to be respectful of the people there because it's an established show. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I probably overanalyze it because it is my favorite show. It has been since I was 12. Like when the show came on in 2010, that I'd probably be like low key. You know, I'd have to like go in and fangirl for a day, and then I'd be like, okay, I can work now. Yeah, no, it's like in my mind, I'm like I told you, I was like a huge fan of Kim and Jenna. You know, I'm like a huge fan of these people, but it's like, you know, because it's a workplace atmosphere, you don't let that show. You know? For sure. And you have to treat it like a job, and there's a time and a place. Like I'm fanboying out of my mind. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I have to, like, you know, Kim was on Lost, and like Lost is like my favorite show of all time. Yeah. You know, so she played Sawyer's wife or girlfriend in that show. Did you ever watch Lost? I did. Yeah, it came out when I was really young. And so I've been like wanting to rewatch it now because like when I was younger, I was like, I don't get it. Are they dead? You know. Oh, I think everybody felt that way. Like, what is going on? Anyway, she was on Lost, which is like my ultimate favorite show. So yeah, I was fanboying out of my mind, but I had to just silence that voice and just be a professional, because otherwise, because you want these people to respect. Yeah, you don't want to be like, oh wait, she was like fangirling too much, you know. Like, oh God, yeah, you know. So I had to keep a poker face. You know? Yeah. That was going to be my next question, but I guess you kind of answered, because, like, as an actor, I love to know what other actors' favorite shows are. I don't know. I feel like it just says a lot about who you like. So I guess, is it Lost for you? Sure. yeah, Lost. I also really love The Leftovers. The show.
Yes, on HBO. So good. Okay, no, sorry, no one ever knows about that show when I talk about it.
I know it's criminally underrated, and it's brilliant. Like if I ever got to work with Justin Theroux or Carrie Coon, it would be very hard not to fanboy out. I would.
Yeah.
It'd be very hard. But yeah, no, Leftovers for sure. There's so much good TV though. It's hard to pick one.
There's so much on, yeah. You just kind of have to go on Netflix, Hulu, watch one at a time. Like finally going back and rewatching old stuff that was on. Just being late on every show. Yeah.
You can spend your whole life watching old great TV because there's just such a plethora. It's like, when does it end? It never ends.
That's what I do. Just like it's either Walking Dead and one other show at the moment.
Yeah. Well, so how do you feel about the crazy turn of events? I mean, they really rocked. They really shook the world of the show with what's happened so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, I love season 4. A lot of people didn't like season 1, but I was a big fan of season 1. I liked it, I think, because I come from LA, and I understood a little bit of, like, what their point of view was, and, you know, how they were feeling before the apocalypse. But season 4, I think, has been, like, one of the most, like, beautiful seasons, like, directing-wise. Like, Michael, is his name Michael, I know, like, directs most of the episodes, right?
Yeah,
just his vision.
He did 402. I worked with him on 402.
Yeah, I just think his vision for this season has been wonderful. I just don't know how I'm going to feel going forward because, like I said, I was so attached to Madison.
Yeah.
That it's it's hard to watch as a fan, but as in, like, you understand where they're going with the scenes, and they're going to make Alicia a better character and bringing in Morgan and John. But I think just, like, it's, like, the fan point, and then just, like, knowing, like, where they're going with the storyline. It just it mashes up sometimes, and you don't know how to feel.
Yeah, I mean, they're really taking they took a left turn this season, and bringing in Ian and Andrew, these new showrunners, they've taken a left turn. But I think it, like you said, it's a beautiful left turn, and I think it's the right turn to make. I think it's cool, and I think it's daring. Especially that episode. I love the episode where it's just John and Althea.
Yeah. Naomi. Yeah, or June, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah, Laura, Naomi.
Yeah.
That episode in the cabin was just, I loved that episode. That might have been my favorite so far this season.
That's one of my favorite parts. I think it's not even the walkers. Even though I love zombies and stuff, it's not even that. It's the relationships and the people that are in the show, and, like, how they've, like, I can't think of the word right now, but just have moved into the apocalypse, especially, like, seeing Alicia from her character in season 1 to now is a complete and utter contrast, even more than Madison or any character. I think her character has one of the biggest developments of the show.
Which is like a sign of a great show, right? It's like is how these characters change. We want to see these characters change. And yeah, Alicia's turned into this complete badass. Just like Strand. I mean, both of them are just kicking ass. And becoming hardened characters, and so it's really interesting.
Yeah, and it's not just like another cheesy zombie show. And I think Robert Kirkman, I don't know if you're a fan of the comics, but even in his comics, like the first page you open on the very first book this is not a story about zombies. It's a story about these people going through the zombie apocalypse and how they adapt and how they live. And I don't think that's a thing a lot of people catch on to, because they're just like, where are the zombies? When a lot of it is just these characters and how they live. Because I'm pretty sure, like, how we are now wouldn't be how we are in a zombie apocalypse, and how ruthless things would get. We don't know who we would be then.
When society breaks down,
yeah,
that's when you find out who people really are. Yeah, and then, this is you're right. This isn't Night of the Living Dead or anything like that. These characters, it's a show about humanity, which is fascinating to me.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna do a couple more questions, and then we're gonna head off, guys. I think a lot of people are just, like, really asking, are you going to do more stuff? They want you to create a Twitch, but I don't even know if you would know what Twitch is.
You'll have to later. You have to tell me how to do that.
Yeah, it's a gaming streaming thing. I just like streaming on here because we do a talk every Monday night, and it's a little more just of a smaller group of people, so it's easier to chat, kind of like the Talking Dead, and kind of just like have your own little personal group on how to do that. Lastly, do you game at all?
I game. The only thing that I play is I play Mario and Zelda on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm playing Mario Odyssey right now on Nintendo Switch.
Okay. I think they just released. I know they did a big thing of Nintendo at E3, but haven't been able to watch it.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I'm all Nintendo. It's like because I grew up on Nintendo. Like Super Nintendo was like my jam. I loved Super Nintendo. I mean, I remember the day that my dad bought me the console. It was like one of the best days of my life. So yeah, I'm a Nintendo guy through and through. My wife got me the Switch for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hey, you never outgrow Nintendo. No, but I don't game as much as some people do. But yeah, I see the allure of it. I'm just kind of scared to game because it's like I know that I'll just get sucked in. You know what I mean?
Same, yeah. I didn't think I'd like it, but I play most like the Walking Dead stuff, of course, like the Telltales, which are really, really fun.
Okay.
Yeah, and also those are really good stories too, especially because it ventures off and like Jesus shows up in season 3, I think, which is funny from The Walking Dead. So I don't know, it's fun to see crossovers. Yeah,
no, that's cool. It's so cool, like to see there's an opportunity there to really open up the world, you know, even more so. Yeah. So maybe that's how they'll incorporate the vultures.
That's what I was gonna say. They can just be like, you have to wait out in like a parking lot, and that's your video game. Like, do we go? Do we take their stuff? Everyone's saying you just got infinitely cooler for talking about Nintendo.
Yeah.
Got you some street cred right there.
Respect. Nintendo for life.
So, is there anything like you're working on right now, or anything we can look forward to besides your music?
Yeah, so I just shot, AMC has a new streaming service called Shudder, and they're doing original content. So I'm not allowed to talk about things. Like there's a new show that I'm in that I'm very excited about. It's going to be released, I think, in the fall.
Oh,
and
nice.
I'm very excited about that. So that's the next thing that I did. It's really cool, and as soon as I can say more about it, or as soon as there's a trailer, I'm definitely going to share it. But that was a really exciting experience, and then other than that, a horror film that I did is premiering at a film festival in 2 weeks, and so.
Oh, nice! Congrats.
Yeah, and so just reach out to me on Twitter and Instagram and stuff, because I'm going to be sharing details when I can. And I always love like talking to people who, have seen what I've done, or just love to talk about movies and film movies and TV, because that's kind of my life. You know
Same.
What I mean? So
that's all I know how to talk about. That's the only quotes I know that I talk about.
Yeah. No, I see your like posters and paraphernalia, and like what's up.
Yeah, sorry, that's like my Walking Dead wall, like my nerdy Walking Dead stuff. It's just literally all Walking Dead stuff. And then like Star Wars and Marvel, and yeah, just anything sci-fi.
Yeah, Star Wars and Marvel like is I'm the biggest advocate of Marvel and Star Wars.
Oh my god, guys.
So like, every time they come out with a new Marvel movie on their opening day, 10 a.m. So yeah.
You just totally like won my chat over, because literally every Monday night we start out with The Walking Dead, we talk about the episode, bam, straight to Marvel, what's coming out, what's new, Star Wars, entire life. That's all we talk about.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, I cannot wait.
Yes.
Okay. And I hope they do the Boba Fett movie with James Mangold.
Yeah, I hope that goes through. I really enjoyed Solo. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so I hope I don't lose my credibility here, but I have not seen Solo. I'm seeing it tomorrow, actually.
Ooh,
I had to go out of town, and things came up. I feel like I have to defend myself.
How dare you work, Evan?
I should have already seen Solo, but for some reason, like I even told my wife, she's like, you haven't seen that yet? And I'm like, I know, because usually I see Star Wars movies the day they come out. Even Phantom Menace I saw the night before it came out. But anyway, yeah, I have not seen Solo yet. I don't care if the reviews are bad. I'm excited to see it.
No, go see it. I don't think anything of like the reviews was right, because personally I loved it. I loved all the performances. I think if you're a Star Wars fan, you'll really love it. I
hear Chewie's like the standout. That's what someone told me. He's like one of the favorites of the movie. And Donald Glover too.
Yeah, he was good. I really liked Kira's character too, because she really hasn't been heard of before. She was kind of new to the thing. I don't know. I have to like watch. I don't think she's been in like the other stories. I have to watch those again.
Wait, whose character
Kira?
is that?
The girl from Game of Thrones.
Emily. No. What is her name? Why am I blanking on her name? Khaleesi.
Yeah, Khaleesi's. Yeah.
This happens to me.
No, same. It's okay. There's just so many faces, so many names.
Somebody tell me her name. Somebody say her name. Anybody?
Okay. Guys, if you know her name, but real fast since you brought up... Oh, Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, wait. One real quick question because you brought up that you love Marvel. Okay, yeah. I have to know. You can bring one character from Marvel into the zombie apocalypse with you. Who do you bring?
That's a great question. One character from Marvel into the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
So are we strictly talking Marvel, the MCU?
People ask that all the time, but I say anyone.
Let's say okay. Well, because I would probably say Logan, or Deadpool, but if we're saying MCU, who's my favorite character?
Mine's Doctor Strange all the way. I feel like he can teleport us to places. He can move time around. Someone dies, he'll just use that time stone.
Yeah, I would say maybe Drax because he would just crack me up the whole time.
He's invisible, so how would the walkers see him? He's completely invisible.
How long have you been standing there?
Amazing.
He's like moving really slow.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I've never seen anything that good of invisibility. Like Fantastic Four, who, what?
Yeah, I know. Maybe Thor. Actually, I would say Thor.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that part from Infinity War where it's like you could die. It's like only if it, or it's like it's gonna kill you. It's like only if I die. It's like, yes, that's what kill you means. You know what I'm talking about? when he's making the weapon. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so many good moments.
I know.
Man, okay.
Yeah, I could talk about MCU all day.
Yeah, I was like, you gotta go. I better let you go, because if we start talking about MCU and Marvel, then it's gonna be another, 4-hour stream right now.
I know. That's a whole can of worms. We can't go there.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We want to thank you so much. Like, we really, really appreciate it. Like I said, we're all big Walking Dead fans, and we just really love the Vultures and their performance this season. And I'm sorry you had to go. Low-key not that sorry with Madison, but I'm sorry.
Low key. No, it was an honor, and who knows? Maybe in the future they'll flesh out the Vultures, or maybe we'll just have to start a new show or something where we just elaborate on these characters. But it's been a pleasure, and it's been cool talking to the Fear community, and obviously talking to you. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And good luck with everything. We'll be watching out. I love Shudder and horror movies, so I'll definitely be looking out for those.
Yeah, no. As soon as I can say more, I will. And don't be a stranger. Keep in touch.
All right. Good luck with everything, and say bye to your dogs and your wife, who's a Walking Dead fan. TWD.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. Sorry, I cannot get this to work. Okay, we'll leave this here. Thank you everyone for coming. I thought it was a lot of fun. Evan is the coolest. I recommend you guys follow him. Check out his music, guys. If you haven't checked out his music on YouTube, you totally should. Sorry that the internet died a couple times while we were doing that. I don't know what happened. Luckily it was chill. It wasn't mad. Thank you everyone for coming and watching the stream. It really means a lot to me.